So, hey guys, Will here, just hanging out live on the Facebook chat. Um, Never used this before. Just chilling, hanging out in the crib, eating some classic 90% chocolate. It's actually not that great. I'm more of a 80% guy, a little bit too much cocoa in the 90. And drinking some Canada Dry, the classic club soda, carbonated water with a little bit of sodium, if you know what I'm talking about. And as I sit here, I sort of look to my right side. There's the Calvinist church, Hungarian Calvinist church that an ex-prof of mine, a physics prof of mine named Zoltan used to attend, or I think still does attend probably. Uh, I'm sitting in front of my computer editing, or I guess not editing, but critiquing a friend's novella that she's writing, which is a ton of fun. Yeah, and we're gone live at home. Beard is legit. Yeah, I've been working on it, trying not to quit. It's a pleasure to see everyone. Today, I can do a small tour of the house. Here's the living room. Comfortable space with some artwork on the walls, mostly done by pals. Some mine, some not. This is a banjo. Also the little art station for the little ones. I live with a family of 4, and a fifth one is on the way. 2 small children, one named Maud and one named Ira. Mom and Dad names are James and Jill. There's a bunch of other stuff to this house, but it doesn't really matter because I don't think you're that interested. Here's a kitchen with a bunch of classic mason jars filled with grub. Yeah, so this is my attempt to use this new app. I've been watering the garden. Does anyone know about tomatoes, actually? I think I've been watering these damn tomatoes in the side of the house, and some of the leaves on one of them is getting so dry. I'm not sure why. I've watered it 3 times out of probably the last 5 days, but maybe I'm not getting the water deep enough into the roots or something like that. Can you overwater tomatoes? Does anyone know if you can overwater tomatoes? That's a big problem of mine right now because my roommates are on vacation, and so if they come back to dead tomato plants, they're probably going to kill me as well and bury me in the tomato plants and use me as fertilizer. What else am I doing? Thinking about life, wondering about things, reading some books, a book about infinity by one of my favorite authors named David Foster Wallace. And he's going through the history of it, beginning with kind of Zeno and Zeno's paradox and a lot of the things that Zeno brings up, like the tortoise and the hare, or his critiques of movement as well. For example, so there's a tortoise and there's a hare, and the tortoise gets a head start, and the hare comes up behind him. But let's say now that movement, if he moves incrementally, moving half the distance, catching up half the distance of the hare each time, then you'd think he'd get to him in a couple of turns, right? If the tortoise is here and the rabbit is here, and then he moves halfway, and another halfway, and another halfway. But theoretically, if you continue to move halfway, there's always another half that you can divide the space into, because space can, the assumption, at least in Zeno, can be always divisible into something smaller. So they talk about, Zeno's paradox and the paradox of fractions, and how fractions can go off into infinity, and then how Aristotle brings up the idea of infinity as well as practical and non-practical sense, so that in practical and applied mathematics, infinity doesn't really work, but in theoretical mathematics it does. This somehow stunted the thought on infinity for like 900 years, I guess, and yeah, I'm sure lots of you guys don't really care, but that's the book that I'm reading on infinity and the history of, and that's a really poor synopsis. Other than that, I've been playing toy cars probably for the most of the evening, and doing some work over there. But yeah, I think I need to probably continue critiquing this little novella because I have writing group on Thursday, and it's 114 pages, and I'm on page 4. So I gotta read it by I gotta read it in 2 days, and I have a little group thing called Spirits and Spirits tomorrow evening. So I don't have enough time for that. But nice to see you all. This is my first shot at Will Fraser Live, coming at you. Pa, 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 pa.